Snap, cover, hit, throws into the end zone, caught, touchdown Bears! It was a bailout throw to Matt Forte, left corner of the end zone, and a bad snap. Cutler picked it up, threw it perfectly to Matt Forte with a step into the left corner, and the Bears have the lead 18-17.
Clutch Cuddy. It was a devastating day for the Kansas City Chiefs. First, they lost, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be smiling here, Jamal Charles to what they fear is a torn ACL. Then Jay Cutler threw 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns and rallied the Bears to an 18-17 win over the Chiefs. Stephen A., I need eye contact for this one. Do you owe Jay Cutler an apology?
Do I owe Jay Cutler an apology?
Yeah.
Let me repeat her question. Do you owe Jay Cutler an apology?
I guess it's not appropriate to say, but I think my initial response would be, do both of y'all need to get tested? Me apologize to Jay Cutler for what? Because you won a game? I mean, are you kidding me?
What, do you want a cookie?
I mean, please. I'm not budging one bit. Jay Cutler, as far as I'm concerned, I will acknowledge this. I'm still not impressed with him. He doesn't move me. He would not be my quarterback. I am still of the mindset that he's the worst possible quarterback for the Windy City. That great sports tad that it is, it's damn sacrilegious that they've got him as their quarterback. I'm still of that mindset. But I must concede that that was a really good pass to Matt Forte to win that game yesterday against the relatively injured Kansas City defense. They're not the same, and now that they've lost Jamal Charles with a game manager as your quarterback, Kansas City's fate is sealed. They're not going anywhere this season. You know, God bless Andy Reid, who I'm a fan of, but they're just not a very good football team right now because they've got too many injuries and they've got a game manager as their quarterback. It's just that simple. But I will say, now obviously Jeremy Maclin bobbling that pass, which would have put them in a position to win, to kick a game-winning, game-winning field goal would have been nice, but it didn't happen. Let me say this: when it comes to Jay Cutler, I still don't find him to be that impressive. He still doesn't move me. Now I must concede that listening to Matt Slauson,
concession here,
listening to Matt Slauson, you know, talking about how command of the huddle seems to be better, the communication seems to be better, he seems to be more motivated and more hyped than he has ever been in all of his time in Chicago.
Maybe he heard you.
John Fox seems to be having a positive impact on Jay Cutler. Okay, if you want to say that, I'll admit that. I mean, I saw something good yesterday that's very foreign for me when it comes to Jay Cutler. I mean, I actually saw, you know, the dead clock be right twice a day when it comes to him. Usually I didn't think that theory applied to him. Pretty much he's always wrong when they win. It's in spite of him, not because of him. That was not the case yesterday. He threw 250 yards. QBR was only 35. Let's not act like, oh my Lord, he looked like Tom Brady. But he threw a good pass. He ultimately delivered the goods, won the football game. He deserves a lot of credit for it. But at the end of the day, he's still Jay Cutler. I don't, and by the way, I also want to give him credit for playing with the hamstrings, not fully healed. He scrambled a couple of times.
A lot of credit being given here.
Well, I didn't see him on the sideline backpedaling on his bicycle.
No, he wasn't.
I saw him.
He was front pedaling. He wasn't backpedaling.
He was front pedaling on his bicycle. He couldn't backpedal in the pocket. I'm sorry, I got that confused. Couldn't backpedal in the pocket, but could front pedal on the sideline. I didn't see that yesterday. So he deserves a lot of credit. I'm happy for the city of Chicago that a man they're paying over $50 million to in guaranteed money finally decided to show up and earn a portion of his dollars. He did yesterday. We'll see if it continues.
Okay, I'm going to let you off the hook this Monday. He does not deserve yet an apology from the great Stephen A. Smith.
He ain't getting an apology from me.
But he does deserve a benefit of the absolute doubt with which you condemn him week after week after week. He's earned that over the last 2 weeks. Because I remind you, the Oakland Raiders are a fine young football team, and they had Jay Cutler in big trouble at Chicago last week.
Ways to lose.
Yeah, and Jay Cutler managed to find a way to lead a game-winning field goal drive after Derek Carr had led what looked like a game-winning drive the other way, right? And then yesterday at Arrowhead, not an easy place to play, can get pretty loud in there. You have no Alshon. You have have no Eddie Royal. Obviously, the whole year you have had...
Bushrod's going too.
Okay,
yeah.
What about Kevin White? Remember Kevin
Right.
White?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be even a little better than Amari Cooper was.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him all year.
Yeah, don't
We
see
know
that,
he's hurt.
though.
Okay, well, I'm just
Never
saying.
believe
Okay,
that.
and without those guys, with throwing to nobody you've ever heard of, Jay Cutler threw 2 fourth-quarter touchdown passes, and the last one you spoke of, he went Tony Romo against your Giants. Low snap, basically bounce back to him. He scoops it up, and in the same motion flips a beautiful throw to Forte for the game-winning touchdown. And I got to tell you, because I was watching the fourth quarter, Jay Cutler made some fourth-quarter throws only a handful of quarterbacks in this league are capable of making.
Well, we will concede that. The fact is, we've never denied that Jay Cutler has the ability to do these things. The question was his interest in doing it. And I will remind you, Skip Bayless, that it's been 4 games that this man has played this season. He's completed 60% of his passes. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His QBR is 51, which is average. And let's also remember this one key element, Skip Bayless, that we simply really don't want to forget. When we look at Jay Cutler, we're talking about his interest, his level of apathy. That's what we question about this man as opposed to his ability. So once again, what we sit here and we're acknowledging is that he seems to be a bit more interested. He seems to be more interested in performing and leading this team to victory. I am questioning whether or not that attitude is going to last. It is beautiful to see the man finally step up in a stadium, in a game, and actually earn his money. Oh, my Lord. Thank you so much for earning your money, since the only time we saw you enthusiastic is when you were signing the damn contract to collect the money. Don't get me started.
There we go. There we go again. Piling on.
Don't get me started with a Jay Cutler.
You know he had to do it alone.
It's the truth.
I'm here to suggest that Stephen A. Smith is going to start to sweat over the next 3 or 4 Sundays, because at Lions comes up next week. They got a shot to win that game at the Lions.
Well, they got a shot. They got a shot to win a lot of the games. The question
wait a
is,
second.
will
They got a bye.
That's a whole nother story.
Then they got the Vikings at home. The Vikings are playing very well. But do the Bears have a shot against the Vikings? I'm sure they do.
They're on the road against San Diego and on the road against St. Louis.
Okay, but at Chargers, and we'll see more about the Chargers coming up tonight, and we'll talk about that to end the show today. But I don't know. Chargers is not the Chargers anymore.
They're not the Chargers anymore. I totally agree with you, but Jay Cutler has never been what he's supposed to be, even though he's paid like a star. 1 playoff victory in 9 years. Don't you two ever approach me again, and the producers, don't you ever approach me. Put that camera on me. Don't you ever sit there and present a question asking me to apologize to that dude who should apologize to the city of Chicago for robbing them of money over the last 3 years. He has robbed them. He has been a joke.
I think he earned his money yesterday.
Yesterday. Congratulations. Congratulations.
We got to go to break, and we wish Jamal Charles a speedy recovery. Hate seeing him go down. Michael Vick will take center stage tonight on Monday Night Football. The guys will tell us what they expect after the break.
First Take is brought to you by Ford Service. When your Ford needs service, you need the specialists at Ford. And Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Tonight, it's the Week 5 edition of Monday Night Football at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Steelers take on the Chargers. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 on ESPN. So you just heard it. Michael Vick and Phillip Rivers tonight at Qualcomm. Both teams are 2-2. Stephen A., you just spent some time in Pittsburgh around this organization, sat down with Mike Tomlin. That interview will air on Countdown. What do you expect from Vick tonight?
Well, I expect him to do some damage because I expect him to feed Antonio Brown the ball, but primarily Le'Veon Bell should see a lot of action. You can run on the Chargers. You can expose their secondary to some degree. Remember, Martavis Bryant comes back. He's going to be playing in this game along with
I don't think he's going to play tonight.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I know he's eligible to play. You got Brown, you got Bryant, you got Wheaton, you got Miller. I'm just looking at all of these guys, and I'm saying, look, and Todd Haley, who I also spoke to, sat up there. Very nice to me, by the way. He's very nice. But he spoke to me, and he said, look, we got a week under Vic's belt. We expect good things to happen this weekend. I believe them against these Chargers. Plus, the weather conditions should be good.
So you like Pittsburgh
I'm
to
picking
pull
Pittsburgh
this one out? I am too, and I'm with you. You got to feed it to Le'Veon and to D'Angelo Williams and play defense, even though their defense is a little beat up. And I think they can beat a reeling Chargers team on a big Monday night stage in which Michael Vick has always played pretty well under the brightest lights, and I think he'll play pretty well, but you cannot put the game in his hands on fourth down plays at the end of the game.
And no excuse, too, because San Diego's ranked 28th against the run.
Yeah.
You should, Le'Veon Bell should see the
Both of you taking Steelers on the road with Vic. Can I get a score?
Low scoring. I got low scoring, like 2017.
I'm picking the Steelers 31-23.
Wow.
All right.
A lot of points.
Good stuff today, guys. We got a lot that was left on the cutting room floor, though, to get into tomorrow.
The cutting
College
room.
football.
It's the cutting room.
The cutting room.
Yeah.
See you guys tomorrow.